Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows. Bros and shows. Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows.
Madison, again, is like, look, I went too far with it. We're cool. You're sorry. I'm sorry. High five, whatever. Leave it, right? Leave it. This is
Leave it
nice.
alone.
You should leave it alone. JT doubles down. He goes, put it this way. If I was married with a wife and I FaceTimed it and deposed you, how you would be a little bit uncomfortable too. And she's like, well, first and foremost, you're not going to tell me how I'm going to feel about it. Like, switch flips immediately.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me I'm going to feel about anything. He's like, whoa, we just apologized. That's where I realized what he does. Because he always needs to get the last word in.
Yep.
He always needs to be the one standing up after the argument's over. Like, see, now you understand from my perspective. Now I'm more right than you. I had to get that last word in there. It's like, dude, you guys, like you just said, you just apologized. You say some more shit. She tries to talk back about it. And then you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We already said sorry. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you doing?
His whole shtick is that he's always trying to put himself in a position where it's like, see, everybody does this. It's not just me. Everybody's going to do the same thing. Everybody's going to have the same feelings. And I'm going to make sure that it's respectful and everybody's going to have to respect me. He's always trying to earn respect. And like, you get what you're given. You don't give anybody else respect. You talk about other people all the time and you have no issues with that. But when people talk about you, then you're doing this and you feel like you're standing up for yourself and you're standing up for everybody else. I have news for you. If you're always playing defense, it's showing that you're an asshole. That's what it is. You put yourself in these positions. Now you're defending yourself to get out of it. You're not defending yourself or defending anybody else's honor because you're taking it upon yourself to do it. You're doing it because you're put in that position by your own actions. That's really all it is.
All right. There's a common denominator, but let's talk Shep and Sienna a little bit. We don't have to talk about it too long. We already talked about this for like 3 episodes in the Bahamas.
This was like the most unserious part too. Yeah.
Yeah, this was comical, but he says that he cut back on drinking. He's doing better. I'm like, yeah, sure. But Austin vouching for him, Craig vouching for him. I'm like, okay, great.
He does look a lot better. When you look at the side-by-side of last reunion, he was a mess.
Oh, last reunion, he was like rock bottom. Yeah. But I hope he continues this. Like, I can root for a Shep that's actually actively trying to get better. And it's nice.
I like Craig's response because it shows where we are too. After last reunion, where he was basically blaming Austin and Craig for where he was because they wouldn't show up for him. Austin, Austin's a good friend. He's going to say, look, yeah, of course. I think he's doing a lot better. He's more fun to hang out with. He's a joy. Craig doesn't go that far. He makes sure to keep it where it is because Shep is the type of person that if you tell him you're doing so great, you're doing awesome, he's going to stop doing what he's doing. And he's going to be like, cool, I'm here. If I keep it here forever, I'm great. But that's not how it works. If you keep it here forever, you're going to have slip up. You yourself just said, I still get that anxiety if I do slip up. So that means you still do it from time to time, which is fair. That's progress. That's how you're
working on it.
But the fact that Craig stepped in and didn't just immediately yes him like Austin did, it shows that, this can still be a true friendship. This can still be something that you're going to work on and you're going to get better at. And then you can fully get into this. And that's where you should be.
Yeah, I agree. So it's nice to see him, hopefully continue this path. But we talk about the text, obviously, and him saying I would be a decent romance novelist. It's like, if this is your best work, then no, you're not.
That's disaster artist.
Those little freckled lips. Oof.
Yeah.
But you could tell Molly's just like,
he's going to start writing poetry.
Oh God.
He's going to go on his trips. He's going to travel more and he's going to start writing haikus.
He probably already does, honestly.
He probably does.
He probably already does.
I bet you there's one that's titled Freckled Lips.
Is it a haiku?
And the Bahamas. Yeah, it's a haiku. Is the haiku
575?
That's it? It's that short? I thought there was more to that. What's the next one? There's a 5. Fuck. I don't remember.
Haiku is 575. I'm positive.
I know, but there's a 5-line.
A 5-ku?
Just like 5-ku. There we go. Let's leave it at that. Yep.
5-ku?
I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to get stuck on this. This is taking me back to like high school English. Nope, not going to do it. But yes, he definitely writes poetry. And yeah, that's going to come out at some point. It's going to be a coffee table book that I'll probably own for.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely. Are you kidding? I'll
definitely own that.
Yeah, I would 100% buy that stupid ass book. I think we all would, unfortunately. But they bring up the money comment again. because this was mentioned down in the Bahamas, talking about that
Mm.
house that, she's like, buy me that house. And he's like, I can't afford that house. And this is his sticking point because I think Madison's the one that said it to him. Like, do you think you're not rich enough for her?
Yeah.
And he's like, actually, you know what? Maybe
Well,
that
Whitney
is
said
it.
it. Yeah.
Was it Whitney that said it?
Yeah. Whitney said
I
it.
thought
Yeah.
Madison said it on the boat, but whatever. It doesn't really matter because that's not the reason that she's not with you.
Mhm.
But his argument, it's a little bit more shade thrown at Sienna, like, which is
It's
just
fine.
unnecessary at
I'm
this
fine
point.
with it.
It's
I
just
think it's
so
funny.
dumb, dude. He's like, the next day or the next week, she was at this Forbes conference and she met a football player for the Denver Broncos. And he pulled out his black card, his big black,
His big black
what?
credit card.
Credit card. Everyone took a deep breath. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something else. Andy was like on the edge of his seat. He's like, his what? And apparently what he's doing is alluding to that guy had enough. Professional athlete, Amex black card. That's what she was looking for. I just have a platinum card. I don't think that money was the problem, my guy. You were the problem. And you're
Yeah.
blaming money for the problem. You're still vacationing all over the world. Like doesn't your family own like an island or some shit? Like you're probably in the bracket.
Both can be true. I have no problem with him taking a little petty shot at the guy getting demoted to the practice squad too.
That was
Kinda
funny. As I heard he got relegated to the practice squad. When he said
Yeah.
relegated, I was like,
Soccer?
like a football player. Oh, to the practice squad. Got it. All right, got it.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. That's funny.
But I guess she started texting him and saying like, dude, stop. You're sharing personal details, whatever. I didn't ask to be on the show. And Molly out of nowhere, she's like, yes, she did via Raya. And I was like, uh-oh.
Good line.
Sure.
I like
interesting.
It. I was fine with it.
It's just anytime someone's going to hitch their wagon to Shep, I get worried, especially Molly, who I loved this season. Was it a good line? Yeah. Is that the best play? You can tell she's still infatuated with the guy. Like that's quite clear as they're sitting next to each other.
My problem with Sienna and like the fact that she's saying you were sharing intimate details about all of this, she did sign up for it. You did know who he was. We know that your grandmom had a fan club for Southern Charm. Yes, maybe we've put the theory to bed that you basically just tried to date your way onto the show so that you could be close to the cast and have your moment to get in the show, whatever it may have been. Fine, we can put that to rest. But you did know what you were getting into. You did know who Shep was. You did match with Whitney as well and talk to Whitney for a little bit. So you knew what you were doing.
Well, Whitney did initiate.
You can't. Yeah, whatever, that's fine. But you knew all about this. So the fact that you're now texting him, and if you're talking about him going on Watch What Happens Live talking about you, if you're talking about him on social media talking about you or podcasts or whatever, that's all fair game. Yes, he doesn't need to be talking about you still. It's going to be a topic at the reunion, fine, whatever. But as far as the show goes and what was aired and what happened on the show, you signed up for that. I
don't even know if she was referring to that or not. I don't know.
It sounded like that's what she was talking about. But yeah, I mean, if he's talking about her currently, fair game. Text him, tell him to shut up. Fine. Yeah. I'm good with that. But as far as the show goes, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah. And either way, don't really care because she's not on the show anymore. But it was hilarious when Andy's like, well, let's bring her out. Molly shit her pants.
Yep.
That was not I was excited and nervous. I was like, no, you were terrified because you just talked some shit and you're like, uh-oh, she's going to come out here right now and I have to tell her what I just said. That was that moment. And then they talk about Shep and Molly, like, oh, we hung out a few times. We boinked. It was great. We both had fun, whatever. Like, cool, great. Leave it there. Please leave it there. And Molly's like, to see somebody working on themselves, it's like really nice. And the text was so vulnerable. Don't lose your vulnerability. I agree with that one. I agree. That's an important trait to have, is being vulnerable as a dude. So I agree with that. But Molly, you can do so much better. Also, even with Andy, a Shep working on himself, you can do better.
Andy has fallen in love with that bit because he did it on Potomac too, I think, with Ink, didn't he?
Oh,
he did it with something else. He's done it. I think this is the third time now in the last year that he's done the let's bring him out. No, I'm just kidding. They're out here. I think he did it with Ink on Potomac, which was pretty
keep
funny.
doing it.
It is funny. Just so we get the reaction shots. I want to see that because looking at Molly and the fact that she was shitting her pants at that moment, funny. And also shows you where we are with all of that. Everybody else is just ecstatic. Like, oh, really?
Fuck yeah.
This
Get her out of here.
This is awesome. Yeah, bring her out. Yeah, that's what I want to see more of.
That would have been great if they actually did bring her out. But let's get to the main course. back to Venita and JT. And again, they dated for a month after the show ended. Rod knew, Craig knew, Madison knew, and a couple of others knew. Not everybody copped to knowing. And, the speculation that's coming from the audience that everything that was going on between Venita and JT throughout the season. What do you have to say about that? Venita, she's like, they can fuck off. I'm like, hell yeah. I agree. They can fuck. I didn't think that any of this was fake. I never got that vibe from it. So they can fuck off.
That's just, and we've talked about Venita before. We've said justice for Venita because she shared things going on in her life, and it's just a little blip on the screen. And we're like, what are we doing here? Why are we seeing a recap of her breaking up with her boyfriend that seemed like a heartbreaking scene that was very sad? We get to see it for 2 seconds. Like, show us a little bit more. And we've said that for years. So the people online that are talking about it just don't see it the same way that we do. They see it as, oh, she's not bringing anything to the table. She had to do something for this, which I don't fault them for because people don't watch the shows like we do. But at the end of the day, no, there's no reason to believe that this was fake. Why would you fake that? Why would you want to be hitched to this man? Why would you want to spend more time with this guy? So no, she had some inexplainable infatuation with him this whole season, and I still can't wrap my head around
still
it.
Does you can tell?
Yeah,
she's still
she definitely still does. Yeah, there's definitely still raw feelings there, which is tough still.
Yeah, it is. It is. But the big question: did you boink? And JT, I'll let the lady answer.
A gentleman never discloses. Sure,
fucker.
Yeah.
Lev was like, we made out. And we get to the girlfriend comment that was at Venita's house after she had made him dinner. And he had said, I'm seeing someone. Now, everybody else on the cast is like, why would you keep your girlfriend a secret? This motherfucker stutters for 30 seconds. What about
it? Was bad. How did you not expect this to be a question? Like, how are you not prepped for this?
I don't know.
That's the other thing that just shows like his false confidence with all of this, thinking that he's in the right and he's going to be vindicated at the end of the day. You need to be prepped for this. They're going to grill you, and no one on the cast is going to help you out. Leva can only do so much. I don't understand why she likes him. And I'm sure there's a history there, whatever. But no one's going to help you. You have to help yourself. How are you not prepped for this question?
I have no idea. I have no idea. And he tries to tag Venita in. He's like, you knew that I had a girlfriend like off camera, right? And
the off-camera comment fucks with me too. I hate
that one fucked me up. I'm like, don't break the fourth wall here unless you're going to break it for all of it and show us the text message, show us everything, show us your relationship so we can.
The off-camera thing is bullshit. It's just pure bullshit. I don't
It's
care.
Like I got a bad edit.
Yeah, it's we've seen people that are in relationships where their partner doesn't want to be on screen in every fucking Bravo show and every reality show. They make it apparent that they have a partner. They make it apparent that there's someone in their life. You didn't until the very last moment when you felt like it was getting a little too serious with Venita. You guys made out.
No, you were about to get caught. Bro.
Yeah,
you were about to get. Well, no, I think that we made out was alluding to when they were dating, quote unquote. I don't think
so
that
they
was
didn't make out at all when she was jumping on him in the hotel room.
I don't know.
Maybe
they didn't cop to that. They didn't.
It's like Jesse getting his toe sucked. Like, come on.
For 37 minutes with him ruled. Yeah,
it's the same shit. Like
a lot of question marks. There is a lot of question marks. And that's where, like, yeah, this whole thing's murky, right? Like, we don't have a lot of answers. There are a lot of outstanding answers that we may never get. Yep. But when it comes to being able to answer some of them, like the girlfriend thing, like, when was she made aware that you had a girlfriend? And her clapback on him was, so I knew that you had a girlfriend and you still chose to come to my house and eat the dinner that I prepared for you. Like, you're telling me that was this, and that's what Vinny's asking him. Like, you're telling me that's the situation. He's like, well, it's a really tricky situation. You know, she's my best friend. And the best question is, did you go over to her house under those pretenses? Well, you know, I'd be lying if I didn't understand that there was like a little bit of a situation going on. Like, there was some tension, but like, I let her know that I had a girlfriend.
Okay.
Did you?
No.
Did you really, or did you say I'm seeing? Did you use cryptic words?
Yes.
To make sure that she would never actually know? Because here's the thing, and I know the cast hates you, and I know there's bias there, and that must be tough. Again, there's this common denominator here, but why does every single person on the cast say, why did you hide your girlfriend for months? Why does Leva not speak up here and say, no, he did. I knew he had a girlfriend. Where's the evidence?
I have no
Where's
idea.
the evidence that he told her? Because the
There
only
is
thing that
no
we've
evidence.
seen was a scene that was cut from its original place in the season, placed in a weird spot to make us think that in the Bahamas, Venita knew full fact that he had a girlfriend.
Yes.
That scene was after the Bahamas. And even in that scene, where apparently we're learning that he has a girlfriend, he says, I'm seeing somebody. It's still not, hey, I'm exclusive. I shouldn't.
It goes against everything, because even if you're talking about the off-camera girlfriend type of situation, why, if Anita knew that you had an off-camera girlfriend, did you feel the need to talk about it on camera and in a non-girlfriend way? Like, you
Why
have to
set
use
it
the
up
right
in a way that
words.
I have to shut you down on camera?
Yeah, it doesn't make any
Why?
sense. And
It
if you had
doesn't.
a girlfriend, why wouldn't you allude to, like, there's just so many unanswered questions here, and unfortunately Benita's not doing any of the answers either, and she's still pissed off about it.
I'm
But like,
hoping
you
the
need to
phone.
spill some fucking facts. I don't think the phone's going to do anything. We know
Well,
this.
she had her. Dev pointed out to me she had her phone on her lap, and clearly they cut a scene from later and put it back earlier in the reunion because when she says, "Let me go get my phone,"
Unless
that's
she's
right
Kevin
after a
Gates and she has
scene.
2 phones.
Perhaps,
Yeah,
maybe because
that's a
like her phone
possibility.
was on her lap, and then it's not, and then she's like, "You want me to go get my phone?" Because
Mhm.
she's pretty much giving JT an opportunity, and that's why I really hope there is something on the phone that helps. Because she's like, "Do you want me to go get my phone?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah,
Like, I don't care, go get
I
your
don't
phone."
know.
But I'm glad Andy decided to jump in here and like give it to him. Like that made
Yeah.
me happy because he brings up the fuckboy exorcism from last
Mhm.
season on Austin. He's like, "Yeah, look, it worked. He's happy." I'm like, "You're taking credit for
Yeah,
that?
he is.
That's
Of course he is.
comical. That's hysterical." But Andy's like, "Well, it looks like the fuckboy went into you." He's
Mhm.
like, "No, I didn't fuck her." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, that's
ew,
just
that
bad
sounded bad."
language. Bad language for a Southern gentleman. Your mom's
It
not gonna like
sure
that one.
is. And it was a
Nope.
slip where I was like, "What else have you slipped up with?"
Mhm.
Because we've heard a couple of
But
instances and
it's
we've
just,
ridden for you, by the way. We've
yeah,
said you
and
didn't
you are
say
a
it, but
fuckboy. It's
no,
fuckboy
he's 100.
behavior. The
You
whole
don't
thing
have to
is.
boink to be a fuck boy. That was the
No,
funniest part. I'm like,
no,
"You
it's just
moron."
semantics. Yeah, it's just literal semantics. But all of the things he did all year, the comments about how, your mom loved Venita and she always talks about it. Like, your mom knew that you were talking to Venita, and not in a friendly way, in a romantic way, but you had a girlfriend off camera the whole time. The whole cast knew that you had a girlfriend that you hid. So like, none of it is actually adding up. He's
It doesn't
just
make any
throwing out
sense.
information and just saying like, yeah, this happened, this happened, this happened, whatever. It just doesn't make any sense in general. So
Did
he's not doing himself any favors. Not that he can. I don't think he's in a position where anything he can say, even an apology to Venita, is going to work. I think that there's a way he can worm himself out of this. And yeah,
sure.
everybody else is still not going to trust him. So nothing's going to change on that front. But if Venita doesn't speak up, if there's no evidence on the phone and she's not willing to say anything that specifically happens, he'll come out of it thinking that he's in the right still. And that's the problem.
Well, I don't know if you caught it with the captions, but after he says, "I'm not a fuckboy, I didn't fuck her," and Madison's like, "That's fucked." The whole group's like, "Dude, you hid your girlfriend for however many months of filming." And the whole group agrees with that.
Yep.
In the captions, it says, mumbling in quotes, "maybe." Was
I
that
don't know.
him?
I
I
don't
didn't,
know.
I just saw it on the screen. I paused. I was like, "Oh, okay." So
Interesting.
someone says maybe. I don't know who because they didn't
Into
show who it
what?
was.
To him hiding a girlfriend? Like
Yeah,
that.
if that was him saying maybe, or he's like, "Well, maybe." I don't know. I don't know. That was just up there.
Interesting.
We like to bring out everything. We're bringing out all the info. You guys can form your own
Bring out all the
decisions here.
stops, baby. I don't
But
know.
Andy,
Yeah, that's a weird one.
bring him out. Bring him out. Andy brings up right after the premiere. You made a post on Instagram with you and Allie, your girlfriend, saying
Mhm.
we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Why?
Yeah, of course.
Because you
Very
got in
simple.
trouble, dude.
Mhm.
That's what happened. You saw the scenes from this season. Your girlfriend went, "What the fuck?" And you went, "Well, hold on.
Yep.
Like, I'll tell you right now, like, it's not as bad as it looks. I'm a nice Southern gentleman. Benita's just a friend."
Yeah. There's just look. I mean, any girl that's actually dating him and is his girlfriend is got to be a little level of crazy. I don't know the girl, so I can't speak to that. But that's not a good move to do that. You
No,
can't hard launch after all of this shit because it's just gonna make things weirder, and you're gonna
she's gonna
open
watch
yourself
the
up
whole
to shit.
season, dude.
Yeah, and if she's messaging Venita too while the
That's
season's
fucked. That's so
ongoing, It's just disgusting. Like,
So
come on.
dumb.
So, I mean, it paints a very nice picture of his girlfriends. I'll tell you that much. So maybe they deserve each other. Maybe they can just
You
stick
know
it
what?
out and go away.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Because again, how the fuck you can be mad at Venita? Sure.
Mhm.
Like, I understand if you feel some type of way. Okay. Why is she getting the shit? Your
And not
boyfriend's
JT,
the
yeah.
scumbag. So that'll never make sense
Unless
to
he
me.
got the shit and they had it out. Maybe that's why they broke up for that month because of what was going on. And in
Probably.
that month interim, he dated Venita, and then
Which
he
is
came
even
right back
more
to
of a
her.
thing. Like, she would
No.
be pissed about that too. Like, every move that he makes is intentionally trying to like create jealousy in these women's lives. It doesn't make any sense, but we get the timeline. And it's still not as much as I need to clear things up, but we get a
Mhm.
timeline. Venita returned from Europe in September.
Yep.
JT let her know, which is also slimy because he clearly was still in contact with Allie if they got back together a month after this, but
Mhm.
whatever. Returns from Europe in September. JT lets her know, I'm single. They started dating. They went on dates every single day.
Yep.
The super teaser comes out, the trailer that's highlighting the majority of the scene. She slides into Venita's DMs and calls her a rat while you two are apparently together.
Mhm.
Venita takes that information to JT and says, you have to do something about this because
Yeah.
this is your ex coming into my DMs and disparaging me. Take care of this. JT says, I'm too much of a bitch to handle anything. Oh, sorry. He said, oh, I can't do that. I wrote it down wrong.
I can't make her do anything, is what he said, I think. But
And Venita goes, well, then I need some time. And she pumped the brakes. Good for her. She's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You're not going to stand up for me to your ex who's talking
which
shit.
JT
Like,
refers to as ghosting for a week when she
dude.
said, I need some time. Yeah.
He goes,
No,
yeah, you ghosted me for a week and it
this
really
annoyed
hurt
me.
my feelings. Fuck your feelings. And Andy's like, it sounds like you fucking deserved it, dude, because all these things that Venita's describing fairly gently, by the way,
Yeah.
everything you've done is fuckboy behavior, my guy.
That's my problem, and I hope that like the course of action here is not to continue being gentle because Venita is being gentle. I need her to go scorched earth. That's the only way that we get through all of this.
Maybe the
It's the only way
phone
that
does
we
that.
actually go. I still don't think so. I'm just not. I don't hold out hope for the things like that
No,
anymore
I
on
never do on
reunions.
reunions. I'm
They're
saying
never
maybe.
smoking guns. Yeah,
I'm not
maybe. Yeah.
saying it's definitely going to. I'm saying like that's
No,
the only.
I
What
can't
I'm
even get
saying is that's
maybe.
the only way. It's not even a maybe. You're not hearing me. I'm saying that's the only potential thing that would get her to be like boom and go up a different
I
level. I
would
don't
say
see her going
I
off.
I think she could just get pissed because she'll come back. There's something on the phone that's innocuous or whatever, and it doesn't actually lead to anything. And he answers in a way that actually sets her off. That's
I
what we
hope
need.
so.
We just need her to get activated. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah,
activated.
she
Come on.
deserves to go off on this fucking guy and then never talk to him again. But
Yeah.
when he's pissed about the ghosting thing, she's like, I told you I needed time. I told you I needed time. If you wanted to talk, you should have said, hey, I know you need space, but I don't like what's going on between us. Be a
Mhm.
grown up, be an adult, be a man, like you always
Yep.
love to say. And you didn't do that at any point. Not one. And he's like, I did. She's like, no, you didn't. She's like, yes, I did. He's like, do you want me to get my phone? Please do. She walks off. And he's like, JT, are you worried? And he's like, nope. I think he is a little
Nope.
bit.
He's definitely a little
And
worried. He
and he's
doesn't know
like,
what's on
"Oof,
that phone.
I think things are about to get a little bit worse, and we hope so. I don't know. Like I said, I never hold out hope for reunion bombshells in phones or receipts.
Yeah.
But I just hope that she's able to say her piece because
Yeah.
again,
Seriously.
is the timeline kind of funky? Sure, but it's just the people that are putting blame on Venita more so than JT is wild. That's wild.
Mhm.
But let's get to some questions.
First up here, ex Coco Michelle. We got you covered because she asked, what is the timeline of JT and girlfriend? I'm so lost. We just gave it to you the best way that we could. That's about as good
Roughly,
as we can
yeah.
do here.
They were dating during filming. They
Mm-hmm.
broke up. Venita and JT got together for a month. JT ghosted Venita and got back with his ex. As far as throughout the season, he was dating that other girl. We don't know when.
Yep.
And he hid it for a very long time and led Venita on throughout.
Yeah.
Timeline.
From begin again _ Christina Mack. Did you notice that Venita had her phone? Then a minute later, she had to go get her phone. Steele's wife did.
Yep. And again, I
did
think
not.
that's just they probably organize these scenes to be more fluid. So I don't know if that's like a holy
Yeah.
shit moment. We'll see.
I'm gonna save this one for last because that's great. A lot of statements here. This is question time, guys. Come on.
Give me one good statement.
All right, I'll find that. From 15 AMG, wasn't Venita dating Manny for half the season? JT sucks, but her stories are off. We don't know because they didn't show us Manny and her breaking up when he went to go pursue his Broadway dreams. They
Right.
showed us in a tiny little clip, and that was pretty early in the season. So if that timeline is what we have to go off of, it seems like they broke up maybe a month or two into filming, and they filmed for like 4 months. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
Manny and Venita doesn't play a role here.
They broke up way before a lot of this happened. Way before
Yeah,
the
no, no.
Bahamas, way before Craig's house party, things like that. So
Yeah, that doesn't.
where she
that
almost
doesn't
drowned
play.
at was that Craig?
Craig's
That was at
backyard.
Sally's. That was
No,
Sally's.
Yeah,
backyard, I
Sally
think.
has a
Yeah.
pool too. Sick.
Yeah. Sick pools. From DJ Ongmal. That's got to be wrong. What do you think about Craig signing up to be the next Bachelor? Could be a master move.
Did he?
I mean, that would be fine. No.
Oh,
no.
they're saying, what do you
He's
think? if
dating
he
somebody.
did?
They know who people know who he's dating now, or at least Dumois knows or has some inkling that he's dating some influencer.
Oh no,
Dude,
he's
I would love it.
dating. He's dating. Fucking. What's her last name? Buffett. Something Buffett.
I think it is something Buffett. Yes.
No, I know it's something Buffett. I just don't know her first name. Craig Conover Buffett.
Sometimes that's all you have to do.
Oh, it's showing buffets.
Oh,
Right,
sick!
two
I love
T's.
that face.
So do I. Where's Dev?
There she
Dev
is.
knows.
Natalie Buffett. Yep.
I beat you. Ha ha ha.
No, you didn't.
I did. I said if I said
there was a
it voiced.
delay. I think we said it at the same time. We'll have to listen to the tape.
No, I don't. Think
Yeah, but
that's
he's
what
liking all of her
happened.
pictures. Who the fuck knows if that's true? But him on The Bachelor would be awesome. I would love that. Let me find a good statement here for you.
Bachelor
Give me a
Craig would be pretty funny.
From Nicky Matto 23, who served better faces, Austin or Molly? Austin always serves great faces. He always looks like he's so shocked at things that are said. And also, he hates JT with a burning passion. So every time that JT starts talking, it's funny to watch his face.
Fair.
And then the last one here. This is my favorite from April Champs. Please never stop fighting with each other. It's so broy. You hear that?
I don't think we can. That's our love language.
Yeah, I don't think we could ever stop.
Yeah, I've been talking shit to this idiot for 16 years and vice versa. He's one of the few people that knows how to actually like push my buttons.
Pushing buttons, baby. I was pushing his buttons right before we even started recording.
I
just to
know.
mess with them. Yeah.
It's just been a
Just
long
happens.
week, dude. Just leave me alone.
I'm a nudge, you know? I'm a bit of a nudge. I'm like a little brother.
Yeah, you're a fucking annoying little brother.
Yeah.
But that's all I got. Do you have anything else?
No. No, I don't.
All right. Well, that's our show. Bro's got to go.